Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the Daily Market Insight for Wednesday, the 8th of December. All right, massive move on the equity markets, and that created not necessarily a whole risk-off profile, but the threat of the Omicron virus is diminishing. And what we're seeing is an unwinding of the trades that were sort of put on around at the start when it first came out, right? So you got the Swiss and the yen starting to move back to the top side, dollar yen, dollar Swiss. Unwinding that safe haven trade hasn't been completely done yet, but don't forget when let's just have a look here what happened when this thing came out. So dollar Swiss and dollar yen sort of went down. Euro actually went up, right, with that big move in the dollar Swiss, and sterling went with it. Aussie and Kiwi got belted, and dollar CAD kept on going up as well. Right. So now with the unwinding, this is how it works, right? It's just a complete turnaround of that cycle. So as the threat of the virus diminishes, okay, you see a reversal of these situations. And what we're seeing is exactly that, right? The safe havens unwound, dollar CAD. Well, there's a few factors with dollar CAD as well. Oil's rallied about $4 or $5 in the last couple of days. They had some, like, trade balance figures aren't necessarily that big a deal, but the media has actually sort of attributed some of this move to it. IVPMI numbers, everything's moving quite nicely in Canada. Massive buildup of long positions. Boom, it gets belted as well. And Kiwi also coming back, right? So we've right now, coming into Wednesday's trading in Asia, we are seeing the sort of reversal of the immediate Omicron impact, right? From here, we go back into basically normal markets again. What was happening beforehand? And that was still a strong dollar, right? And if you look at the, obviously the dollar index, it is still poking to the top side. Nothing's changed there. So what you've got to do is just reassess. I'm not getting super excited and thinking, oh, this is, Aussie's going through the roof. Absolutely not at all. The only thing that's changed is we had a flush out of positions, right? And now we're getting the turnaround of the Omicron. So now we're getting back to levels for a lot of these pairs where you can be more confident getting into positions. Right now, obviously, Aussie just tweaking through a resistance level there, same as Kiwi. I'd expect these pairs to sort of top out very shortly, right? And also, we've now got, if I draw a trend line here, it'll be come down this way, starting to look towards selling euro back towards 113, the figure, right? The key to it, if you're not sure what's happening, just always come back, have a look at the Swiss and the yen. If they are moving higher, we're going back to the strong dollar scenario, and dollar CAD now is probably, it's so far removed from those current technical levels. It's pretty hard to sort of gauge what's going on there. That looks like a massive clean out, right? If anything, the Canadian economy is really ticking along quite nicely, and that may lead into obviously some comments from the Bank of Canada. We've got the Bank of Canada coming out tomorrow as well, right? So, or today, I should say, in North America, or tomorrow in North America. I don't want to get you confused. And that's where we are, guys. It's so this is good, right? This is our possibly our best scenario, right? And what I'm talking about is you get the initial news from the Omicron variant subsiding. We get a flush out. We go back to normal markets. We're very close to talking about US CPI numbers on Friday. That's the main game, right? So don't get sort of too caught up and flustered around what's going on. There's been a big flush out of various financial markets, like the US Treasuries have been all over the shop. Equities have been getting pummeled, now coming back. Everyone's more confident. Okay, looking at the markets with a bit of a clearer view, right? That's going to make it easier for us to trade. And now we can start focusing on the key data, right? With the that big move in the Canada, or dollar CAD, I should say, the dollar CAD and the Canadian crosses are going to be pretty electrified come the Bank of Canada rate decision later in the North American session tomorrow, right? It's going to be very lively. Statements, I mean, obviously, so many things are happening. It's quite interesting that the Omicron appears to be less of an impact on society, right? So the Bank of Canada have already got a bit of a plan. They will be sort of going, okay, if that is now not a risk, and we've got an economy boiling over, we're going to have to do something or say something, right? So I expect potentially a left field comments that could really spur the CAD on. It looks like it's been factored in somewhat, okay, already with that massive move to the downside. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. So CAD and the CAD crosses, by far and away the best pick for the next 24 hours. All right, guys, have a good one. Cheerio.